I'm Fran Yerke. When I was asked as a Cornerstone sister to do a reflection for Advent, I didn't skip a beat and asked if December 7th reading was open. I knew this would be out of my comfort zone, but I thought it would be a special way to honor my mom's birthday. Today's gospel is according to Luke, chapter 5, verses 17 to 26. One day, as Jesus was teaching, Pharisees and the teachers of law, who had come from every village of Galilee and Judea and Jerusalem, were sitting there, and the power of the Lord was with him for healing. And some men brought on a stretcher a man who was paralyzed. They were trying to bring him in and set him in his presence. But not finding a way to bring him in because of the crowd, they went up on the roof and lowered him onto the stretcher through the tiles, into the middle in front of Jesus. When Jesus saw their faith, he said, "As for you, your sins are forgiven." Then the scribes and Pharisees began to ask themselves, "Who is this who speaks blasphemies? Who but God alone can forgive sins?" Jesus knew their thoughts and said to them in reply, "What are you thinking in your hearts? Which is easier to say, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or 'Rise and walk'? But that you may know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins." He said to the one who was paralyzed, "I say to you, rise, pick up your stretcher and go home." He stood up immediately before them, picked up what he had been lying on, and went home, glorifying God. Then astonishment seized them all, and they glorified God, and struck with awe they said, "We have seen incredible things today." Today we also celebrate the memorial of St. Ambrose, Bishop and Doctor of the Church. St. Ambrose was born in Germany in the year 340 and died in 397. Shortly after his birth, his father died, and he was sent to live in a palace in Rome that was frequented by the clergy, his mother, and his sister Marcellina, who was a nun. He was promoted to the governorship of Emilia Liguria about 370. He lived in Milan and was unexpectedly acclaimed as their bishop by the people of the city in 374. It was a position he was chosen for as a compromise candidate to avoid a disputed election. He changed from an unbaptized layman to a bishop in only 8 days. As Bishop of Milan, he was able to dominate in culture and political life of his times. In 384, he refused to surrender a church for the use of Arian heretics. In 390, he imposed public penance on Theodosius for having punished a riot in the Thessalonica by a massacre of its citizens. Both were unprecedented interventions and anchored his loyalty and resourcefulness as a diplomat. He also established the medieval concept of a Christian emperor as a dutiful son of church, serving under orders from the Christ. St. Ambrose was revered as a doctor or teacher of the church. His sermons were acclaimed masterpieces of Latin eloquence. His most notable convert, Augustine, who was a skeptical professor, was baptized by St. Ambrose and became a doctor of the church as well. Ambrose provided a philosophical base that eventually transformed Christian theology. He was one of the most influential ecclesiastical features of the 4th century. Ambrose sought to replace the heroes of Rome with the Old Testament saints as models. He composed beautiful hymns, denounced social abuses, frequently secured pardon for condemned men, and wished to be seen in pictures as a simple Christian bishop, clasping the book of Gospels. He wrote in praise of gentleness, pointing out how needful grace is for the rulers of the church, and commend to them by the meekness of Christ. To quote St. Ambrose, "God is not accustomed to refusing a good gift to those who ask for one. Since he is good, and especially to those who are faithful to him, let us hold fast to him with all our soul, our heart, our strength, and so enjoy his light and see his glory and possess the grace of supernatural joy. Let us seek God and let his light shine on us and within us during this blessed season. Let us be joyful and accept all that he has to offer. In this uncertain time, may God comfort us with the knowledge that he is with us, especially those of us who are struggling with the COVID-19 virus. As my mom always said, this too shall pass. Happy birthday in heaven, Mom. Merry Christmas from my house to yours, and may God bless you and your family with peace, love, and good health.